All right. So, Sammy, one of the things I noticed when we were making this record was that the balance between the song and the singer and the musician's creativity was really evenly balanced. It wasn't like just a singer with a backup band. It was almost like the musicians had their own voices too. So, what was it like to work with these musicians in Brazil?
Working with these musicians in Sao Paulo was quite an exhilarating experience for me because of the style and and their evolution in music. You know, they're very dedicated to the art of music, like the way it used to be in New York in the old days, where people would give 100% of who they were. You don't see that much anymore, and these guys were amazing. Chico Piñero, Chris, everybody that played, especially the pandero player and Bernardo Aguiar from Rio de Janeiro, who's a student of Marco Susano, his protege. He's one of the greatest panderistas in the world. And working with those guys and Bianca was just amazing. The studio was amazing. It was one of the most biggest studios I've worked in years, since the old RCA studios back in the early 70s and 80s, Nacena studio. And the engineer was amazing. Everybody that worked with us was an incredible collaboration of love. And I have to say that this is really truly a collaboration between me and Glaucia Nasser. It's a Glaucia Nasser, Sammy Figueroa album. And we try to put her vocals with a lot of percussion and guitar and some keyboard in certain areas. But the idea of this album is to really create a sense of cultural Brazilian meets Latin meets semi-jazz meets Brazilian traditional music. And I think that sonorically speaking, this album is going to be one of the most unique tropical Brazilian music albums that I've heard in a long time. And it's a real effort of love, what's going on in this particular CD. I'm very proud to be part of it because I get to do what I know how to do best, and collaborate with these young artists who are very extremely talented. And I've learned a lot from them, and we've learned a lot from each other. And we've had the most fun ever in a studio that we could have ever. And being in Brazil, also in Sao Paulo, is an incredible experience because the people in Sao Paulo are very, very special and very enlightened and very loving and kind. And when you're working with these type of people, I mean, nothing can go wrong. And even when things go wrong, they're right, because and all the wrongness that happened and all the conflicts that we encountered, sometimes those conflicts became very, very beautiful in terms of the music and how it was composed. I'm very excited to do this album for many reasons. Rachel Farrow and myself are producing this album, and we're really looking forward to do more projects in Brazil like this that bring out a lot of the best talent in Brazil and create some new ideas as the music goes on and on and on. But right now, this is our special project. I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be close to Glaucia, who's a very special lady, and proud to be close to these fabulous musicians that are all some of the best I've ever played with in my life.
Words and the music itself. So you came in playing Latin percussion, and then you met Brazilian percussion, right? You came in with playing Latin jazz, and you came in now with jazz musicians who play in Brazil. So how was that for you, working with these musicians who have a slightly different language?
Working with these amazing musicians like Chico Piñero, Mihi. These two guitar players are really original. And working with Bianca Gismonti and Chris and Bernardo Aguiar, who's fabulous banderista, was unexpected. I didn't know it was going to happen, honestly. But when they mic'd the pandero, it sounded like a full drummer. He plays like a full drum set. So it made it easy for me to play what I know how to play best. And that was the fascinating part of playing with these great musicians who play so eloquently and so dedicated to the art of really playing. I mean, these guys are all about the music. They're very focused in what they do, and it's not just a hobby. They do this 100%. It's very inspiring for me because to see guys like that at that level inspires me to be a better musician and not to flake off in what I do. So yeah, it was an incredible collaboration with all of them. The engineer Wagner was amazing, an amazing engineer, very fast. He reminded me of the old engineers in New York who worked, their pace was extremely fast and they knew exactly what you needed and they did it very quickly because they know the craft of engineering to them. It's just like being a musician. So all in all, this was one of the greatest projects I've done and been part of in many, many years. And I'm looking forward to a lot more with these amazing people and with a lot more wonderful musicians in Brazil. I love Brazil. I love Sao Paulo, and I love my people there.
Just wanted to ask you about. Did you feel that even though you may not have understood the words she was singing, within the feeling that she was expressing in the music, did you still? What kind of impression did you get? Did you feel from her?
Well, the impression that I got from Glaucia and when she was singing was a very passionate person who really loves life and loves music and loves to be surrounded with greatness. And she gave a lot of that, and a lot of that love came out. There was sort of a language barrier many times because I don't speak Portuguese, but I did understand emotional, and emotional is a language in itself. Just by her expressions and Portuguese being somewhat Latin, I understood a lot of it, what she was saying, and that was enough for me to understand that she was doing this with incredible amount of passion, an incredible amount of love. Glaucia is a very, very fascinating and beautiful woman, and she's like a little goddess that makes us all happy. When you're working with people like that, it makes everything go by very easy and very smoothly, and laughing and being joyous was the name of this whole project. We were all laughing constantly, having fun, and that's the name of this project, Fun and Happiness.